Hey guys, welcome back to The Buzz. I'm Tiara Bree, and today I am with Kelly Karstaedt of Karstaedt Stanko. How are you?
I'm doing very well this morning. How are you?
Wonderful, thank you. So tell me a little bit, for those who don't know, about Karstaedt Stanko.
We are a newer law firm. We're about a year old, just celebrated our first anniversary.
Congratulations.
And my law partner is also my husband of almost 10 years in a few
Congratulations.
weeks.
That's awesome.
So we do corporate law, working in transactional mostly. We help small businesses, mid-sized businesses, and entrepreneurs get their businesses set up correctly and help them through the trials of day-to-day business, making sure all their contracts are in place, their employee handbooks, things like that.
And that's definitely important here in Jacksonville with all this renovation and kind of upbringing downtown. So I feel like you guys are going to do a lot of work soon.
I hope so. We love working with small business owners.
Definitely. And how did you get into that type of business law?
Well, my husband was in-house counsel for years, so that's really what he wanted to do. He comes from a family of entrepreneurs, and he always wanted to work with them. And I work with our nonprofit clients because I've always wanted to give back to the community, and I've sat on nonprofit boards for years, and I just thought that this was a natural progression.
Exactly. And what is some of the services you offer to the nonprofits? What is some of the work you do with them?
Well, we've had some nonprofit clients where we helped set up the nonprofit with them. There are filings that you have to do in the state of Florida. There are filings that you have to do with the IRS in order to get your nonprofit exemption so you're not paying taxes. So we help them through that process of making sure all of the proper documentation is filed. And then we move on to helping them just run the organization, setting up bylaws and articles of incorporation, and finding board members, making sure that they have the right mix of board members. Anything that a nonprofit needs, making sure that they stay in compliance with state and federal law, especially the IRS rules.
So all of the stuff they definitely would not know before they come to you. Because
Exactly.
it seems like a lot of little things that people wouldn't think of, when starting a foundation or a charity, things like that.
Very much. Most people don't understand that there are different kinds of nonprofit organizations. They're not all charitable. There are a lot of different kinds that you can choose from, and each one has its own set of rules that you have to follow for the IRS. So it's important to know what kind you are and then follow those rules.
And is that one of the biggest problems you see when people come to you? They don't know which type, or they didn't follow certain rules and things like that? Or
That would be the biggest one, is that they aren't sure what type of nonprofit they're supposed to be. So they either set it up wrong, or they set it up but they don't realize that theirs has specific rules that might be different from a charity. For instance, a charitable organization can't be involved in political lobbying, but other types of nonprofit organizations can. So
Yeah,
you
I
just
was
have to make sure
wondering about
you know which one's which.
And isn't there a certain percentage of money they have to give to such and such? And there's a whole bunch of stipulations with the money they do receive in donations and things.
Right. There's a lot of rules that you have to follow on how much money you can keep in reserve, what kind of surplus you can have, because just because it's called a nonprofit doesn't mean you can't have a surplus of money at the end of the year. That's how you keep your operating budget going each year. So it's important to stay abreast of those rules and have a lawyer to consult with.
And I feel like that's definitely a misconception, or just something some people are kind of weary about, the surplus of money at the end. They're like, well, what do I do with this? I don't want them to think I use the charity for personal money, but you kind of need some money to keep your charity open.
You do. There's actually an organization in Florida called the Florida Nonprofit Alliance, and they did an economic impact study last year. There are over 83,000 nonprofits in Florida with almost $90 billion in revenue in 2016. So
quite a
nonprofit
bit.
business is a really big business in Florida.
Exactly. Well, if some nonprofits are looking for some help, or they don't know how to become a nonprofit and they need your help, how can they contact you?
You can fill out a consultation form on our website. It's jackscorporatecounsel.com, or you can give us a call. All of our information's on the website, and I'd be happy to talk to you. I love working with nonprofits. It's my passion. It's where I want to stay.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Kelly, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next time at The Buzz.